Hey guys, back with Come Follow Me. Good to see you here again. It's been an eventful week, it's been a hard week, and I think we're all kind of feeling the hard right now. I have especially, and had some pretty tough moments of tears, and I'm so apologising for my noisy neighbour. He's always noisy. Seems to love doing it, especially when I'm doing this. But anyway, I digress. It's alright. This week's actually a really good week. This week in Come Follow Me, can't find it, I think it's behind me, is about Zion, basically, and building Zion. And I think that's really apropos for what we're dealing with worldwide right now and what we could learn. There's a lot we can learn from it. So again, I have prayerfully selected what I think is going to be best, because there's actually some really rich stuff in here. And it was hard to pick again. So hopefully you get something from this week. But 95 through 97, 94 through 97. Now 94, interestingly, the date that was first put on it, or wasn't put on it, was incorrect. So it's out of sequence. So if you're thinking, why did we get a pattern and then why are they asking what to do with it when you just got told? It's because it's out of sequence. Look at the dates and the section headings and that will clarify for you where they're sort of at. But this is around building the temple. Now this is the one in Kirtland, not the one in Jackson County, Missouri. They were asked to build two. Remember a while back they were asked to do that. Now they haven't done anything. One of the reasons was given was because they were arguing in the school of the prophets. Goodness knows what they're arguing over. You can only imagine. I mean, you go to Sunday school and see some of the arguments that erupt. So probably the same there, sadly. But that was one of the reasons. Another one of the reasons you got to remember was the persecution that was happening, mostly in Missouri, but a lot of persecution. I mean, that's going to prevent you from doing a whole lot. And they had just signed this order that they were going to leave. And the Lord's still telling them build a temple here. So that's all a bit like they're trying to figure it out and trying to get their heads around it and deal with daily persecution, which can be horrendous. And this was horrendous and does get really bad, which we will learn about in the coming weeks. The other thing is to the finances. They had no money. They had nothing. So that's what we learned about this week too. And that was really specifically true in Kirtland, because they had to buy the land. Up in Missouri, land wasn't so expensive because nobody really wanted to live there. It wasn't a nice place yet. Remember, it was still kind of this swampland that they developed into this beautiful city. So it's, it's going to get better. Anyway, so before they get to Nauvoo and build a temple there, Jackson County is going to get a bit, but Kirtland still needs a temple, so before they leave there. So this is kind of that part of that's where we're at. Now, in section 94, this is given to Hiram Smith, Reynolds Calhoun, and Jared Carter, because they're the church building committee. And gosh, we've still got a building committee now, and aren't we grateful for them? So the pattern is laid out. Now we're going to look at verses 6 to 8, although verse 2 is really good, and I always love this because here the Lord's giving a pattern, and he always does this. There is a pattern to everything that he does. It's often seen as mathematical, which, yes, but it's simply a pattern. We don't need to be maths geniuses to follow this pattern, and he helps us with this, and that's in everyday life as well. So I love that in verse 2, but we're going to look at 6 to 8. And that reads, "And it shall be dedicated unto the Lord from the foundation thereof, according to the order of the priesthood, according to the pattern which shall be given unto you hereafter." And then goes on to expound that, but 7 and 8. "And it shall be wholly dedicated," that's holy, W-H-O-L-L-Y, wholly dedicated unto the Lord for the work of the presidency. "And ye shall not suffer any unclean thing to come in unto it, and my glory shall be there, and my presence shall be there." Now, talking of the temple, of course, absolutely. But this can also be us as well, right? Have that. But this is particularly the temple. And holy, and that's the word we're going to focus on there. Now, the order that it's under, the order of the priesthood, order of this, in this context, is talking about group. Like this group of people, this group of saints, and is the order, but group. Priesthood in this case, the neighbours, the people that are, have callings in the church, our wards that we would have now. That's what it's talking about there. So it's the order of the Lord. So it's those that are committed to the gospel, those that are living in this area, committed to the gospel. This is the order there. So when you think order of the priesthood, it's not talking about what you might sort of first think. So keep that in mind as well. Right. So 6 to 8, wholly dedicated. So who do you know that is wholly dedicated? Because that's a lot, right? I would love to live to be wholly dedicated, and I certainly attempt and try. Although I certainly believe there is no try, because you either do or you do not. Yes, I know that's a Yoda, but it's absolutely true. I am concerted effort, or I say I haven't got that yet, or I haven't achieved that yet. I'm certainly working towards it. Yeah, there's a whole thing around try for me. But wholly, WHOLLY, means entirely or fully. So that's all in. So who do you know that is all in? All in the gospel, completely in. There's no mucking around, there's just in. So even when they don't understand it all, because that's me. Even when it means constant sacrifice, it's me again. Even when others at church shun them, yeah, that's me again. These sweet dedicated souls always make every effort to get up and show up with kindness, love, acceptance, and they reflect that light of Christ like a lighthouse. So hopefully that's me. I would try to be like that. I'm not always. I gotta be honest, I'm not always. Sometimes I can be really, because I'm tired and I'm in pain and I'm really annoyed with what's going on. Like really, it takes a lot to push me these days, but it does get me. And that's something I'm still working on. That's my weakness, and certainly trying to work on that. But I'm still wholly dedicated to working on it, right? That's the point. It's not that we're wholly dedicated and perfected yet. It's that we're wholly dedicated to working on this and getting to be in that place where we want to be around being Christ-like and emulating his image. But we can still reflect that light of Christ out there and show that. So I pray and try every day to be wholly dedicated. I really do try. And when I say try, I mean concerted, consistent effort. And because I haven't got there yet, but I'm getting there. And now, Sister Michelle D. Craig, she actually said Facebook and Instagram, I think it was. I saw it on Instagram, but it was about a month ago, and I really liked this, and I actually saved it, and I thought, well, let's put this in for the quote for this week, because it's beautiful. Now, she said, when you stand in holy places, be holy there. So when you stand in holy places, HOLY, like the temple, like the chapel, like your home, right? When you stand in holy places, wherever that is, be wholly there. Be all in. Be entirely there. Don't be half there. Don't be sort of in. Be all in. Really cool. All right. I love that from Sister Craig. So that's where we're at this week. We're going to look at some other things and how to sort of more be in and how that looks and what a Zion people is. That's our discussion this week. So hopefully stay with me, because it's going to be good. All right. See you there soon.